and aggressive. They started out on uneven bars, and they nailed every dismount, stuck every landing, and that just propelled them through the evening. So it was a great competition down at Ohio State, and I look forward to another hard-fought battle today, but this time in their home arena at the Mack Center.
Yeah, definitely going to be excited as two teams that are hitting their stride, the Golden Flashes and the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Eastern Michigan has struggled all year as we're going to meet the gymnasts of Eastern Michigan. Kent State, following that second place finish Friday night, they are 11-4 on the season, 3-1 in the Mid-American Conference, and 5-0 right here at the Mack Center. The Eagles that are being introduced to this crowd here at the Mack Center this afternoon, they come into Mack action at 5-9-1 overall. They are 1-3 in the Mid-American Conference. In road contests, the Eagles are 3-8, and they've dropped their last 4 meets, not celebrating a team victory, albeit a third-place finish in February 6th. And that was the George Washington quad that Shannon, you were at, I believe, during that competition. The Buckeyes have positioned themselves with the 18th best national qualifying score. They currently sit at 196.365. Kent has dropped to number 41 in the nation with a team NQS of 195.315. Kent State's highest position in the rankings was number 24, and that occurring in the second week of the season. But Shannon, as you and I were talking a few minutes ago, there is really opportunity for Kent State to get into that top 36.
Yes, they're looking really good right now, and I think that at the end of the season, everybody is just working on improving that RQS score and working towards qualifying to the regional championships, and then starting to think about the postseason competitions.
Yeah, the Ohio State Buckeyes, the 18th ranked in the nation. They'll line up right in front of the scorers table as public address announcer, longtime voice of Kent State Gymnastics. A small contingent of Buckeye fans on hand here today at the Mack Center, making that short drive up I-71 to I-76 here at Kent State. You know, Friday night there was a lineup change when you talk about the Buckeyes and Kent State Friday night on balance beam. Talk about how that change really did impact just a positive nature. What happened early on in that competition for Kent State and how the rest of the team just picked everyone up.
Yes, we talked about how well they started off that competition on Friday on bars. When they went over to the balance beam, the first girl in the lineup had a fall. And so that's what I was saying about the growth of this team and starting to see some of that maturity and how they responded, because they did not respond timid or afraid. They actually went out there, and the next 5 girls in the lineup did amazing. They were focused. They nailed every routine after that. And luckily, you get to throw out that one low score, and it didn't hurt them at all on Friday night.
Here we go. The Ohio State Buckeyes are introduced to the crowd here at Kent State. Kent State in their final home meet. We're going to honor 6 seniors here this afternoon as the lights go dark in the Mack Center and the promotional video on the scoreboard, as we await the introduction of the Kent State Golden Flashes. Shannon, as Kent State is introduced here before this home crowd, largest crowd really since 2019 as you look around. A lot of mask mandates were lifted over the last week or so. It's great to see, at least on the home side, nearly packed stands here at the MAC Center.
Yeah, there's a great crowd here this afternoon, and it's a special day here at the MAC as we have a lot of alumni come back to watch this competition that haven't been to campus in a while. So the alumni were invited back for a VIP event this evening, and we were able to meet with Coach Bob Lemieux, who's a strength and conditioning coach here at Kent State, and he gave the behind-the-scenes tour so that the alumni could see the facilities now. We were able to see the strength and conditioning weight room, the locker rooms, and the state-of-the-art training room that this team has been able to utilize this year. So everything from cold whirlpools to cryo machines and everything that an athlete really needs to get healthy and stay healthy. And it's great to see the amount of effort that the university has put into investing in these athletes and in the alumni.
There's your Kent State lineup, and now our seniors will be introduced. This is the senior Riley Danielson. Riley out of St. Bonifacius, Minnesota. Another senior, Kendra Lindway. Kendra is escorted by Jackie Henry. Maddie Iannuzzo, the senior, escorted by Mark and Judy Iannuzzo, her parents.
This is a special day for the seniors and especially for their parents who get to see them compete here at the home gym in their last collegiate season. A lot of these parents have watched their children grow up in the gym and go to endless competitions and traveling and costs of those competitions through their whole life, and now they get to finally see that pay off here at the NCAA level.
Yeah, it truly is a love for the sport, a love for competing, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, as we can't overstate enough. As we honor our seniors, standing ovation here at the MAC Center for those seniors that have contributed so much to Kent State University on and off the gymnastics apparatus. And we'll have us on vault, Barb Willivo and Lisa Howland. On bars, Mary Lou Ackerman and Julia Fobsick-Schwartz. On beam is Eileen Sheldon and Tina Snyder. And on the floor exercise, this afternoon's judges, Jean Johnson and Kimberly Mercurio. Kent State in head-to-head competition against Eastern Michigan. They lead the all-time series 54-26. The Golden Flashes against the Buckeyes. Kent State is 12-41-1 all-time versus Ohio State. Shannon will go through the lineups for the Buckeyes, Eastern Michigan, and Kent State in this opening rotation.
Yes, Kent State is going to open on the vault. We're going to start with Cammie Klein, followed by Kendra Lindway, Carly Franz, Olivia Amade, Rachel DeCavich, and Alyssa Guns. Eastern Michigan is on the uneven bars, starting off with the lead-off routine with Molly Paris, Ella Cherminetti, Jordan Jankowski, Anna Grace McCullough, Hayden Crossan, and Raisa Boris. Ohio State will be on the floor exercise. They're going to lead off with Savannah Gonzalez, JoJo Warga, Claire Gigliardi, Alexis Hawkins, Alexis Edwards, and then Jana Hilovich.
Within a minute. Inside 1 minute of the touch period. Kent State looking to improve from 41. They are trying to hit the top 36. We talked about it a few minutes ago, Shannon. You really feel strongly that they'll be able to do that with a solid performance, obviously today against the Buckeyes in Eastern Michigan, and on the road next week at Western.
I do. I'm optimistic that this is a great team this season, and I feel like they have a little bit of that that nostalgia and that family value that Coach Bryce Biggin really instills in the team. on Friday night, they were wearing some vintage leotards, the crushed blue velvet leotards back from the mid-90s. And he told the girls before the competition that they are going to wear those leotards with pride and that the legacy of Kent State Gymnastics needs to shine through them. And they really stepped up, and they did that on Friday night. And I feel like as the season concludes and wraps up, they're only going to get more confident and stronger as the year goes on.
A slight change in the lineup, Shannon, in the vault. Typically we see Kendall Gilbert. She is not in the lineup this afternoon, and she's out with perhaps a strained ankle.
Yeah, I'm not exactly how severe it is. I think she just tweaked it a little bit on her landing on Friday night at Ohio State. She is in a boot this afternoon, but I think they're just doing that to protect her. I think we'll see her back before the end of the season.
Now here's Cammie Klein for the Golden Flashes on vault. Again, Eastern Michigan on the bars, Ohio State on the floor. And what is a spring-like afternoon outside here in Portage County in Northeast Ohio. Inside, you get to feel the excitement, the energy as Kent State is ready to take on the Eagles and the Buckeyes, and we'll wait for a salute from Carly Franz. I beg your pardon, Cammie Klein on vault. Judges are ready.
Cammie's an upperclassman. She's got a lot of leadership qualities, and so they're relying on her to start this lineup up today.
Savannah Gonzalez on floor for the Buckeyes.
Yurchenko laid out, full twist, one step back, but that was a great start for Cammie.
Over on the bars, it's going to be Molly Paris of Eastern Michigan, and again, Gonzalez on the floor for the Buckeyes.
Molly's from nearby Gymnastics World, so she's got some fans in the stands today. She starts her routine with a ginger as her release move, casts to a handstand, shoot over to the low bar, hits a nice handstand there. Back up to the high bar. Two strong giants. Double layout dismount way above the bar. Great leadoff routine for Eastern Michigan.
Here's Gonzalez in her final tumbling pass.
Punch 1.5 to a front layout. This is Kendra Lindway on the vault. Another senior. She also does this laid out Yurchenko full twist. Great landing today.
Great amplitude by Kendra on that vault.
She really popped off the table and got a lot of lift off of the vault.
Kendra consistent over the last 3 meets with 9.725s on the vault. We'll see if she can best that with that vault. Cammie Klein with a 9.8 to start things off for Kent State on the vault. JoJo Warga up next for the Buckeyes on floor exercise. On the bars, it's Ella Shamati of Eastern Michigan. Carly Franz would be next for Kent State on the vault. We do have a special treat between rotations. We'll have an alumni of Kent State Gymnastics come up and have a conversation with Shannon. That'll be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, we're going to speak to Hall of Famer Shelly Stambaugh, who was an all-around gymnast here in the 90s. She is famous for vault, where she scored 3 perfect 10s on that event during her career. Carly Franz with an excellent vault. Laid out Yurchenko full twist. They are lots of enthusiasm in this gym today.
Yeah, Kent State locked in thus far on these first 3 vaults. Again, good amplitude on that vault, good landing.
Nice double layout stuck landing from Eastern Michigan on the bars.
That's JoJo Warga on the floor now for the Buckeyes. Warga, sophomore out of Girard, Ohio.
First pass, 2.5 twists, right into a punch front.
Molly Paris, 9.725 for the Eagles on the uneven bars.
Up next on the vault for the Golden Flashes is Olivia Amadei.
.982.5 is a season high for Olivia.
Laid out Yurchenko, full twist. Wow, and a great landing there. So these girls are after it today.
Yeah, that energy is contagious. Success is contagious. Kent State with a decent start on vault. Jordan Jankowski, I believe, would be next on the bars for Eastern.
JoJo finishing up her floor routine, front handspring, 2.5 twists.
I think a little step there at the end, maybe.
Very nice routine. This is the routine that averaged 9 nines on Friday night.
Yeah, a solid floor lineup for the Buckeyes.
Eastern Michigan's having a great start on the bars. Lots of stuck landings over there and made routines.
Is this Rachel DeCavich, the junior for the Golden Flashes?
She's an all-arounder. We'll see her on all 4 events today. Laid out Yurchenko, full twist. Little hop on that landing, but that's a great, great vault for Rachel.
Again, you know, you see the amplitude, but she also got great distance on that vault.
She was nice and square today. She came off the table with her shoulders straight, lifted up into the air, came down on that landing, could see the floor before she hit it.
A lot of action taking place here at the Mack Center with 3 schools. Kendra Lindray with a 9.8 on vault. Carly Franz with a 9.8. Olivia with a 9.775. Ella Chamati of Eastern Michigan, 9.725 on the bars. Gonzalez of the Buckeyes on floor with a 9.775. And a 9.825 is the score for JoJo Warga. This brings up Claire Gagliardi for the Buckeyes on floor exercise.
And we are ready to watch Alyssa Guns, freshman from Kent State, on the vault.
This has been a gymnast all year long that has just been fun to watch, Alyssa Guns.
Yes, we've seen she's such a strong competitor, and she comes in here with a presence that does not look like a freshman. Lots of confidence, and no matter where Bryce puts her in the lineup, she seems to shine.
Wow.
And there we saw that stuck landing that he was looking for. She is just so fun to watch compete.
Well, a 9.85 is the score for DeCavich, and Alyssa Guns performing with poise stuck that landing. This is Claire Gagliardi on floor for the Buckeyes. Little Jaws action, Jaws music, suspenseful music for Gagliardi of the Buckeyes. Crowd, the Buckeye faithful getting into it here at the Mack Center. Coach Bryce Biggin not happy with a 9.85 on the vault of Alyssa Guns as he crosses his arms and shakes his head.
Yeah, they had the start value on that vault is a 9.95, so it's hard to see where there's much deduction being taken. So
9.875. 9.875.
Yep. 3/4 of a tenth.
So in an exhibition, Bryn Sipsis of Kent State will perform on Gagliardi, jumping up and down, getting high tens from the Buckeye teammates after the floor. Here's Sipsis.
There's a laid out Yurchenko full, very nice. That's that depth that we were talking about. More girls than what they can fit into the lineup have great vaults with great landings. Eastern Michigan finishing up a bar routine here. Double layout dismount. Lots of distance on that dismount, but a good stuck landing there too. Raisa Boris will be next for Eastern Michigan on the bars.
Alexis Hankins would be next for Ohio State on the floor. Hankins, a junior out of Omaha, Nebraska. 9.75 is the score for Bryn Sipsis on the exhibition vault for Kent State.
This is Izzy Geig coming up on the vault. Izzy's laid out Yurchenko full twist. We'll finish that lineup for the Kent State Golden Flashes on the vault today. Full in, back out, first pass for Ohio State on the floor.
Yeah, beautiful.
Really difficult tumbling. Oh, a little out of control. She had a straddle jump to finish that tumbling pass and fell a little bit backwards on her landing. Great splitting elements in that leap pass, showing that more than 180-degree split. Last tumbling pass coming up here in this floor exercise routine. Round up back handspring, double back tuck. Great landing. Ohio State fans like that one.
Alexis Edwards would be next for the Buckeyes on the floor. Callie Harden will perform in an exhibition for the Eagles over on the uneven bars, and Kent State wrapping up the vault. 49.125 is the highest thus far this season. So Kent State off to a tremendous start here in this tri-meet, the third tri-meet this season at the Mack Center. Eastern Michigan with a 48.675 on the bars, and Ohio State will continue to compete. Here on the floor, Alexis Edwards now for the Buckeyes.
Double back tuck for that dismount for Eastern Michigan, and one more floor exercise routine for Ohio State. First tumbling pass, round up back handspring, double back pike, nice and open, great amplitude.
JoJo Warga of the Buckeyes with a 9.825. Alexis Hankins, who previously performed on floor, 9.875. And again, we are watching Alexis Edwards of the Buckeyes on the floor. Upbeat music by Alexis. And the Buckeyes with the floor lineup fifth best in the Big Ten.
They do. They have great tumbling and extremely difficult routines.
Final tumbling pass for Edwards.
So strong. Round up back handspring, double back tight. Lots of amplitude and easy to see the floor before she sticks that landing.
Alexis Edwards, just a junior out of Richmond, Virginia. Up next on the floor is Jenna Lavick of the Buckeyes. Lavick, a freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland.
On the bars, we're watching Sophia Rios. Oh, double full twist, which we don't see very often, and she kind of missed her feet on the landing, rolled back to her back.
9-9-2-5 is the score for Alexis Edwards. And this is Jenna Lavick for the Buckeyes. We'll get a good look at the freshman, Jenna Lavick, for the Buckeyes here on floor.
Jenna has a great big first tumbling pass right off the bat here in her floor routine. Round off back handspring, laid out, full in, back out. An excellent landing. That was better than what she did on Friday night down in Columbus. Round off 1.5 twist, punch front layout. Jenna getting ready for her last tumbling pass. Round off back handspring, double back tuck. Lots of amplitude there. Very difficult routine, executed really well. That concludes our first rotation here at the Mack Center. Hardly any or no fans in the stands.
We are not lacking enthusiasm in here. It is great gymnastics. I am having so much fun.
Yeah, so Shelly, talk for a minute about your experience here at Kent State and what it means to you to be part of the Kent State family.
Oh, well, I'm grinning ear to ear. I have so many of my teammates, and to see all this excitement and this incredible gymnastics. I mean, I would not be the person that I am without Kent State Gymnastics and the support that we've always had. And wow, it almost puts me in tears sitting up here.
Yes, it's great to have you back this weekend. But talk for a minute about how you like to continue in the sport. What are you doing to stay involved with the sport of gymnastics?
Well, actually, I've been in Tampa, Florida for 18 years, and I have 4 beautiful girls that are all 4 competitive gymnasts.
Yes, so it's in their blood already.
It is in their blood. Yep.
And
so these competitions, we're in the middle of season 2. Thank goodness we didn't have a meet this weekend, so that's why I'm able to be here.
That you could travel up here and join some of the other alumni. But is it different being a parent of a gymnast as opposed to being on the floor and competing yourself?
Oh, it's much more difficult being a parent because I have no control.
No control over what happens.
Yes, I cry when they do well. I cry when it doesn't go as well. And I like to be in control when I'm out on the mat. It was all,
Yeah.
I could do it.
But you experienced it, and so you can really explain that to your kids and give them advice on the good days and the bad days. And so that's something that not every parent is able to do. So your experience as, being a very high-level NCAA athlete, do you share that with your kids?
I do. And actually a couple years ago, we spent the summer up here, and they were able to come into the gym, and Bryce took us into the
So Olivia Amade to start things off for Kent State over on the bars, a season high of 9.825 occurring against Central Michigan a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Olivia has been a really solid leadoff routine on the uneven bars. She's been consistent all year and just gets that team off to a great start on this event.
Yeah, she equaled that 9.825 Friday night down in Columbus.
What we're looking for today is what we got a chance to see on Friday night. The stuck landings on bars were excellent, and that's where you can really make the difference. Those little half a tenth and 1/10 deductions for those little movements on your landings, that sets the team apart on this event.
Yeah, Kent State Friday night with a 49.2 on the bars. And the Buckeyes Friday night with a vault score of 48.925. They'll need to better that as Kent State.
Molly has already mounted the balance beam, starting with her leap pass.
I was going to say Kent State with a 49.125 on the vault.
Back handspring layout, step out. Gorgeous tumbling there from Molly. Side aerial, little wobble, but fought to stay on. This is Caitlin Grimes getting ready to vault for Ohio State. Molly dismounts with a round off 1.5 twist. And Caitlin's vault is a laid out Yurchenko full twist, stuck landing to start off the Buckeyes on vault. Here comes Olivia mounting bars. She's going to cast to a handstand on the high bar. She swings her giants inside, giant full twist, right into a Tkachev. Great catch. Cast to a handstand, shoot over to the low bar. Great form, great execution on this routine. She's been so consistent. Getting to that high bar, giant full twist, right into a double back tuck. There's the stuck landing. The crowd jumps up and down.
Again, those types of performances are contagious. And for Caitlin Grimes of the Buckeyes, a 9.9 on the vault.
This is Nicole Riccardi getting ready for Ohio State on the vault. Laid out Yurchenko full twist. Another great landing for the Buckeyes.
So this is this is Eastern Michigan Boris on the beam.
This is Raisa Boris. 2 back handsprings right into a layout step out. Oh, not quite enough room. That beam is only 16 feet long, and she just got pushed off the end of that beam a little bit. It's hard to fit 3 tumbling skills all in a row on that short balance beam.
(9.825) for Nicole Riccardi on her vault.
Up next on the uneven bars is Kennedy Weinpart. Laid out Yurchenko full twist, opened up that twist early so that she could see the floor and stick that landing. Kennedy on the uneven bars, 2 great release moves right in a row.
A lot of energy in this routine by Kennedy. A lot of power.
Cast to handstand, tight body, blind change, front giant, double back tuck, stuck landing.
Kent State laser focused in the gym this week as the Buckeyes will cheer, as I believe we have a 995 on the vault. 995.
5. That is actually a perfect score for that vault. You can't get any higher than the actual start value of that routine.
So that was Riccardi. The 9925 is the vault score.
Yeah, so one judge did give the 995, the other one 99. And that averages out to the 9925 that we see.
So Shannon Gregory would be next for Eastern Michigan on the beam for Kent State. Rachel DeCavich on the bars and Sydney Jennings next for the Buckeyes on the vault. Here's Jennings on vault.
Laid out Yurchenko, full twist, little hop on that landing, but their execution is great. They show awesome height off the table and really open hips in that laid out position on their vaults. This is all-arounder Rachel DeCavich getting ready to mount the bars. She starts on the low bar. Cast to handstand, toe to hand, and then she's going to go right into her release move to the high bar, into a connected pack salto back to the low bar. Those two combined together give her lots of bonus points to get to that 10-0 start value. She's got a great handstand on the high bar, and she is so powerful in her giants, giving her lots of momentum. Double layout dismount. Oh, she had all day to see that mat for that stuck landing. Floated in the air. Up on vault, half on, full twist off.
Yeah, that was Emma Pritchard.
On the balance beam for Eastern Michigan, Shannon Gregory.
Kent State over on the bars, Olivia Amade with a 975, Kennedy Weipert 9775. We thought maybe those scores, Shannon, might be a little low for Kent State considering those stuck landings. The judges obviously seeing something that we cannot see. We are the furthest distance from where the bars are set up here at the Mack Center.
Yeah, where we're sitting makes it a little hard to see the angle of the handstand, seeing if those gymnasts hit that perfect vertical handstand in between each of their elements. So it is hard to see from over here. Eastern Michigan struggling a little bit on the balance beam. Her foot slipped off and she had to take a fall and then several wobbles after that. She's going to try to compose herself and get through the rest of this beam routine.
Back at the bars for Kent State, Carly Franz would be next as we await the score of Rachel DeCavich. It'll be posted here in just a moment. Buckeyes on vault.
Laid out, Yurchenko, full twist. Little hop on that landing.
Yeah, very nice though. Here's Carly Franz now over on the uneven bars for the Golden Flashes. Carly will now using the springboard to the top bar.
Carly's a great bar worker, and she's got long legs, beautiful lines in her handstand. Starts with a clear hip on the high bar, right into a ginger, right into her shoot over. That's a great connection.
Yeah, DeCavich with a 9-8.
Back up to the high bar, two giants, double layout dismount. Excellent.
Hayden Crossan would be next for Eastern Michigan on the beam. Sarah Haxton next up for Kent State. Sarah with a personal record Friday night down in Columbus.
Yeah, Sarah's having a great year. It's really fun to watch her excel on her events. And even though she's young, she's got lots of time left. It's really fun to see her step into a leadership role on this team.
.9025 is the score for Shannon Gregory for the Eastern Michigan on beam. Buckeyes have wrapped up their competition over on vault.
Hayden's getting ready for her acro series on the balance beam. Back handspring, layout, step out. As we turn our attention to the uneven bars, Sarah mounts to the high bar as a giant blind change into her Delchev, right into a shoot over. Again, that connection is what gives her the value that she needs to have the 10-0 start value in her bar routine. Beautiful toe point. Look at these tight giants. Double layout dismount. Excellent for Sarah. Cartwheel right into a full twist dismount off the side. Eastern Michigan working their way through this balance beam lineup today. Caitlin Sattler will be up next for Eastern on beam.
Kent State, Maddie Iannuzzo in an exhibition for the Golden Flashes, the senior. Last time performing here at the Mack Center in front of a home crowd. The Ohio State over on the vault. I'll give you their scores here in just a moment. Ohio State with a team score of 49.375 on vault.
Maddie starts her routine on the high bar. Starts with a big Tkachev. It's a great release move. She does a toe to handstand. Right into her shoot over to handstand on the low bar. That was excellent. Back to the high bar, great handstand. Two strong giants, these double layout dismounts above the bar, and there's a stuck landing. That's the ones we got to see on Friday night. They were missing a few of those in the last two routines, but that was a great finish for Maddie on bars. Balance beam, two back handsprings right into a layout step out. Triple series. Beautiful jump series on the balance beam. Very difficult. This is Hayden Crossan, dismount, round off, double full twist, stuck landing. Wow, that was a gorgeous routine with some elements that we don't usually get to see in college gymnastics.
Well, Shamani would be next for Eastern Michigan over on that balance beam. And, Kent State with a team score. We're going to wait for the last score to be posted for the Golden Flashes. We go 48.875 for Kent State on the bars. A little less than what Coach Bryce Biggin had wanted here this afternoon.
And the difference is those stuck landings on the dismount. That's really the one thing that they're going to want to tweak and just improve upon as they get ready for the MAC championships in a few weeks. But the routines are solid. Their difficulty is great. Everyone with the 10-0 start value. Giant full twist, double back tuck way above the bar. And those are the landings that head coach Bryce Biggin is looking to put into that bar lineup.
Turn our attention now over to the balance beam.
This is Eastern Michigan's Ella Chamati. She does a back handspring, layout, step out, very solid.
Ella, just a freshman from Canton, Michigan. Number of freshmen and sophomores competing on this Eastern Michigan team.
Front aerial right into nice jump series. Finishes with a back handspring, 1.5 twist dismount, and lots of great difficulty here from Eastern Michigan. You talk about the depth of these Mid-American Conference teams and how every one of them has just really stepped it up over the last several years. They're building their momentum going into the conference championships, where you'll see the top 3-4 teams all finish within a couple tenths of each other, and it just comes down to that one day and the execution on all the details of all those routines.
Well, we'll get a look at the junior out of Indianapolis for the Golden Flashes over on the bars. This is Taylor Wentland in an exhibition.
Taylor starts on the low bar, does 2 release moves right in the row. That pack salto. Oh, nice handstand half pirouette on the low bar. She's up to the high bar now. Great handstand, 2 strong giants. She's got lots of power and torque and a huge double layout dismount. That's an excellent routine. That's an exhibition routine for Kent State, and she is very young, so she's got lots of time to compete for the Golden Flashes on the bar lineup.
So this is Maylee Vanderbeek for Eastern Michigan on the beam. And again, this is an exhibition for Eastern Michigan.
Does the back handspring, layout, step out. Switch leg leap into a straddle quarter. Side aerial. Finishes with a round off 1.5 twisting dismount, stuck landing.
I believe we have one more exhibition, Shannon, for Eastern Michigan. Emma Lewis would be next on the beam. Ohio State will move over to the bars. Golden Flashes to the beam. And
yes, one more exhibition routine, and then we're going to see at the end of this second rotation, we're going to see a special tribute today to the late Rudy Bachna, who was the original coach of Kent State Gymnastics, and he was really the person who was here when it became a varsity sport. He was the coach for both the men's and the women's programs, and he really started this legacy that is Kent State Gymnastics today.
9.825 for Vanderbeek, and you think about the Kent State program, two coaches.
Only two coaches
in the history of the program here at Kent State. That is remarkable.
Yes, the turnover in coaching in the NCAA, not just in gymnastics, but in all sports. You know, coaches move and they change schools. So it's almost unheard of that you would only have two coaches in the whole history of the program. But as I was talking with some of the alumni last night, that is actually what makes it so exceptional to be part of the Kent State Gymnastics family. But these coaches have taken all these gymnasts in and really acted as parent figures in their lives as they competed, and they just studied and kind of went through the college experience. And so they take that with them when they move on. So lots of the athletes would then become club coaches, club owners, judges. They stay in the sport for a long time. And it's really because they have had such a great experience in their college career.
As Emma Lewis completes her beam routine, and to that point, Kent State is not unique in that, and that's the beauty about college athletics. As we saw a number of alumni coming back this weekend to take part in this one senior day, but also this special ceremony on. Kent State down by 6.5 of a point, entering rotation number 3.
Up on bars, Stephanie Berger. Two release moves right in a row, connected to a shoot over to a handstand. Molly's first pass, punch front layout into a Rudy, 1.5 twist, and Sam Henry mounts the beam.
Yeah, Berger with a stuck landing for the Buckeyes, the freshman out of Boston, Massachusetts. Here's Sam Henry of the Golden Flashes on the beam.
Sam does a hitch kick right into a front toss, right into a beat jump. Great connection on those 3 elements. Back handspring, layout, step out.
Great strength to hold on to that.
It takes quite a bit of fight. Her front leg was down and solid, but her back leg didn't get into that lunge quick enough, and she was able to stay on that beam. That's a good fight. Molly's second pass was a double back pike. Great amplitude from her flow routine.
Jenna Leithak would be next for the Buckeyes on bars. Raisa Boris would be next for Eastern Michigan on the floor.
Sam finishing up this lead-off beam routine. Gainer full twist off the side of the beam. Jenna Leithak, clear hip, right into a ginger on the high bar, shoot over to the low bar. Nice cast to a handstand giant, full twist, double back tuck, stuck landing.
Yeah, that's 2 stuck landings for the Buckeyes over there on the bars. They are carrying that momentum from Friday night, last Saturday into tonight.
Up next for the Golden Flashes is Sarah Haxton.
9.675 is the beam score for Sam Henry. Haxton with a 9.775 Friday evening down in Columbus. .9875 is Haxton's season high, that occurring 2 weeks ago at Central.
She has a unique cartwheel onto the balance beam for her mount. She has a beautiful toe point. Watch this execution throughout this whole routine. Front toss, very solid up there.
Alexis Edwards over on the bars for the Buckeyes.
Back handspring, layout, step out, great landing. That long lunge at the end of that is what makes that a really solid landing for Sarah's beam routine.
Another stuck landing for the Buckeyes. Alexis Edwards.
Beautiful split jump connected to a split 3/4. Sarah's moving really well up on the balance beam today. Punch, front full dismount, stuck landing. Excellent. She is really proving herself to be a solid competitor on balance beam.
Yeah, Haxton's best, 9.875. We'll see where the judges put that one. Moving over to the uneven bars. This will be Alexis Hankins of the Buckeyes. Eastern Michigan, Anna Grace McCullough would be next on floor.
Round off back handspring, double back tuck. Very difficult to do as your last pass on at the end of a long flow routine.
So Boris of the Eagles wraps up her routine. McCullough would be next. Kent State, Alyssa Guns, the freshman, who is really stepping in to plug some holes in this Kent State lineup.
Sarah Haxton scored a 9.875. Great score routine for her. Alexis blind change right into a Delchev. Pack salto down to the low bar.
Alyssa Guns on the beam now. Has really performed with great poise and confidence as a freshman here at the D1 level.
Boy, Ohio State is really solidifying those landings on bars. Alyssa does a hitch kick right into a front aerial. Great connection there. It's a very difficult skill. You cannot see the beam before you land on it. It's what's called as a blind skill. Into a back handspring, layout step out. She just has so much poise and confidence for a freshman. It's so great to watch her routine. Switch leg leap right into a split jump. Showing that 180-degree split on every element. Gainer full twist, duck landing off the side. Excellent routine. This is 3 routines in a row now for Kent State that are really, really growing in this lineup on balance beam, and it's great to see that they have kind of conquered those demons on this event.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a while to find a lineup that really works for you, and Kent State, certainly Friday night tonight, something they've struggled with all year. We talked about coming into the season, Coach Bryce Biggin and you and I, that he had some concerns on floor, but it's really been beam. They've been phenomenal on the floor.
Yes, floor has been a great event for them too. So it's fun to end a home competition on the event that they are very confident on. And I look forward to seeing some awesome routines and getting the crowd into their floor routines today.
Another stuck landing for the Buckeyes. That is Colby Miller.
They're nailing it. Up next on the balance beam for Kent State is Rachel Dukavich. She is the all-arounder, been really solid all year, scoring, multiple 39s in the all-around and nailing 4 events at every competition.
9.875, it looks like, is the score for Alyssa Guns. Yep, I beg your pardon. That's Paxton's score. 9.8.
I didn't see 2/10 worth of deduction, and I think Coach Bryce Biggin is saying the same thing. He's wondering where those 2/10 of deduction came from in Alyssa's routine. But we will see up next Rachel Dukavich. Rachel mounts the beam with her press handstand into a one-arm planche.
Yeah, just showing great strength. Rachel, the junior, the all-around performer, as Shannon had mentioned.
Back handspring, layout step out, way above the beam. Lots of amplitude there. Hitch kick into her front toss, right into a beat jump. That little jump at the end gives her a connection bonus. Back handspring, gainer full twist off the side. Excellent routine for Rachel today.
Now, Rachel early on in the season struggled a little bit on the beam, but over the last 3 meets has really picked it up for the Kent State Golden Flashes. The junior performing well on beam, and that'll bring up next for Kent State, Riley Danielson, who had a personal best Friday night down at the Cavelli Center. Shannon Gregory on the floor now for Eastern Michigan. As we await the score from the judges here for Rachel Dukavich, we can see one judge with a 9.9, at least from where I am positioned here at the Mac Center. It's going to be a 9.875 for Dukavich.
Shannon's first tumbling pass on the floor exercise, round up back handspring, 2.5 twist, punch front tuck.
Here's Danielson now, the senior, in her final beam performance at the MAC Center.
Riley is an amazing beam worker. She loves this event. Shows lots of confidence. Back handspring, layout, step out.
Oh, did you see the smile on her face?
Big
after
smile.
Yeah, enjoying every moment. Just soak it in.
That's when it's really fun. When you can smile and tumble at the same time, you know you're having a good time. Front toss, big split jump connection.
Yeah, you saw she's laser focused. So much fun to watch as Danielson on the beam.
Switch leg leap connected to another switch leg leap. Beautiful toe point, beautiful splits in the air. This dismount, back handspring, layout, step out, full twist. Wow. That is how you want to land your senior beam routine.
All smiles. This is Riley Danielson, and all smiles around the MAC Center, the Kent State fans. Well done by Riley Danielson. This is Maylee Vanderbeek of Eastern Michigan now on floor exercise. Ohio State has wrapped things up over at the uneven bars. I'll move over to the balance beam. Following rotation number 3.
This is the anchor for Eastern Michigan. First tumbling pass. Round up back handspring, double back pike. Great height, great body position in the air.
Next is Cammie Klein of Kent State on the beam, currently ranked 4th in the Mid-American Conference in this event. 9.85 is the score for Riley Danielson. And the Buckeyes with a team score over on the bars of 49.375.
That was a great lineup for them, and it was really those dismount landings that were impressive from Ohio State.
Well, back to your point earlier, how important those really are.
Yeah, if you give a judge the opportunity to take a deduction that they have to take, you know, there's no wiggle room when you stick that landing. They have no deductions there. Cammie's tumbling, back handspring, layout, step out. Switch leg leap into a straddle 3/4 jump. Side aerial, very solid. Hitch kick, gainer full twist off the side. Excellent routine for Cammie. Just a little bobble at the end of that layout step out, but those girls are looking more confident every time they go up there.
Yeah, solid lineup for Kent State on the beam this afternoon. Over on floor, Eastern Michigan. Still waiting for some of the scores to come in. Well, you look at Ohio State on the bars. Alexis Edwards with a 9.9 and Colby Miller 9.95 to lead the Buckeyes over there.
They are competing really well today, seeing lots of details in their landings, lots of amplitude in the air, and of course, the difficulty that you expect from those Big Ten teams.
Grace Weary will be next for Kent State in an exhibition, the freshman out of Klingerstown, Pennsylvania. This is another freshman Kent State should be really excited about, is Grace Weary.
Yes, Grace is a very strong athlete, and she has come in here to this team and just really already impacted the level of difficulty that Kent State has.
Carly Kasanovic in an exhibition for the Eagles on floor, as we'll turn our attention to the beam and Grace Weary of the Golden Flashes.
Grace does a switch leg leap into a straddle quarter. Back handspring, layout, step out. Excellent landing there. Not a wobble. Front toss right into a beat jump. She dismounts with a round off 1.5 twist. Great landing. Very serious and focused face throughout that whole routine, but then we get to see the smile on the finish. After this rotation, we're going to hear from Maria Schneider. She's going to do an interview with us this afternoon.
Jackie Harker would be next for Kent State on the balance beam, and Maria Schneider.
Yes, Maria is a Ganem. She comes from Brecksville, Ohio, where her family started the Gymnastics World, a local gymnastics club in the area. Her parents were both involved in the Kent State program here back in the 1960s. Her mother was a gymnast, and her father came into the gym because he was dating her mom. And when they were dating, Rudy Bachna said, you can only come into the gym for 2 reasons. Either you're going to join the team, which he was a football player, so he's not going to join the gymnastics team, or you can learn how to coach and spot. So as an opportunity to come into the gym, he learned how to coach, and then went on to become the owner of Gymnastics World. And also maybe what you've heard on ESPN, the story recently, just this weekend, the local high school team, Brecksville Broadview Heights, has won their 19th consecutive state championship. And that is the longest running state championship in any sport in the country. And so 19 years in a row, their team has won the gymnastics state meet.
Wow.
And Maria is the coach of that current team.
What a legacy. Yeah, I don't imagine any football players at the time would say, Coach, I want to try out for gymnastics as well.
But it turns out they make excellent phys ed teachers, excellent club owners, and great gymnastics coaches.
Yes. That is a wonderful story. And we'll hear from Maria here in just a few minutes as Jackie Harker and an exhibition for the Golden Flashes on beam.
Switch leg leap into a tuck 3/4 and just got herself a little bit off balance. She jumped off the beam on that leap pass. There's a gainer back pike off the end of the beam, stuck landing, and that will conclude this third rotation.
Well, Kent State will move over to the floor to wrap things up, and I'm going to turn it over to Maria and Shannon as we talk a little more gymnastics.
It's on. Hi, Maria. Thanks for coming up today to answer a few questions about the legacy that is Kent State Gymnastics. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what it feels like to be part of this Kent State Gymnastics family.
Absolutely. I mean, Kent State's been a part of my life since the day I was born. Rudy and Lynn, being the coaches for my mom and your mom, and having them come in the summers to have camps and music and gymnastics in motion. There's just such a history and tradition of this. And when you look back at all the clubs around here, they start to just stem back to Kent State. A lot of our private clubs in this area all started back here.
Yeah. You mentioned gymnastics in motion, and for those of you that don't know what that is, that was one of the very first gymnastics performances in the country, really. And it was a performance where the college athletes would come and they would perform for an audience, but also they would invite in local children from the area, and they would put them through some opportunities to tumble and to learn some gymnastics and to really have maybe their first gymnastics experience ever. And as a young kid, we had a chance to experience that firsthand. But talk about the longevity of your family in this sport and some of the things that you've been able to do since graduation since you graduated here from Kent State, how are you staying
Absolutely.
involved?
So, yeah, I mean, my family's that history of, the club. And, I graduated from Kent in 96, spent a couple of years on the team here, and then I got to hang up my grips. Phew. But from there, though, just taking what I learned from this program, Bryce, impacted my life in quite a way. And this university, just in general, I have my teaching degree from here. I've taught since the day I graduated. And I've continued to teach physical education and health in the school district I grew up in. And I'm coaching the high school team now.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit?
Amade's personal record, season high, 9.925. That occurring in week number 3. That's that tri-meet back in January here at the Mack Center.
Emma Pritchard on the balance beam, getting ready to tumble. Back handspring, layout, step out. Very solid. Eastern Michigan on the vault, laid out Yurchenko. Olivia's first pass, punch front layout, right into a Rudy. That's a 1.5 twist. Great landing. Olivia's next pass, round off back handspring, double back tuck, plenty of amplitude in the air. Great tumbling today from Olivia Amade.
For the Eagles, Elena Fisher with a 9.625 on her vault.
And a 9.85 for Emma Pritchard from Ohio State on the balance beam.
So Alexis Hankins will be next for Ohio State. That was Boris for the Eagles on vault.
Yurchenko in the tuck position, full twist.
Kenley Weinpert is next for Kent State.
This is Alexis Hankins mounting the balance beam. Back handspring, layout, step out.
Yeah, solid.
Great control. .85 for Olivia Amade on the floor. This is Kennedy Weinpart on the floor exercise for Kent State. Eastern's laid out. Yurchenko full twist on the vault.
That was Emma Lewis on that vault for the Eagles. Turn our attention now to the floor. Kennedy Weinpert.
Round off double twist for Ohio State off the beam. Great stuck landing. Wow, Kennedy was way high in the air on that opening tumbling pass of a double pike.
Kennedy, a sophomore out of Mentor, Ohio, all-around gymnastics academy, second in this floor lineup.
Front handspring, front full to a punch front layout. And you mentioned all-around gymnastics. Her club coach was Tom Logar. Tom was a Kent State gymnast back when we had a men's program here. And he is in the crowd as an alumni today, cheering her on. Eastern up on the vault, laid out Yurchenko, full twist, one step back on her landing. Ohio State had a 9-9 on their last balance beam routine. Great last pass for Kennedy. That was a huge double back tuck. Excellent routine, very few deductions in that routine. That'll score well.
Yeah, this is Alexis Hankins.
Front aerial right into a back handspring. Moving from front to back, tumbling is very difficult connection to make. Hitch kick into a switch leg leap half into a beat jump.
I beg your pardon, this is Hannah Oliveras. (9-9) for Kennedy Weinpert.
Side aerial, full twist dismount for Ohio State. Eastern Michigan laid out Yurchenko, full twist on the vault. There's great gymnastics happening on every event here.
Folks, we try to bring it to you. It comes at us pretty quick with just the two of us here. We'll go now to the floor. This is the freshman Grace Weary of the Golden Flashes. Weary out of Klingerstown, Pennsylvania. Stallone Gymnastics.
Round up back handspring, double back pike. Tons of amplitude. Above assistant coach Craig Ballard's head.
And you've got to get amplitude to get above
the
tall
guy.
Craig Ballard. He towers over head coach Bryce Biggin. You know, when you look around, this is what college athletics is all about. There's so much, there's many smiles here. The gym is full. There's a lot of energy competing at the highest level. This is Molly Parrish, Eastern Michigan on vault.
Handspring front pike, very difficult.
Grace Weary getting ready for her final tumbling pass.
Here she goes, round up back handspring, double back tuck. Awesome. Another great routine for the Golden Flashes.
Olivero, so the Buckeyes a 9-9 on that beam performance. Kent State with really two great scores to start off the floor. 9.85 by Olivia Amadei, 9.9 by Kennedy Weinpert. The Buckeyes finish off here on beam.
A leap right into a side aerial into a back full off the end is a unique combination for a dismount off beam.
Yeah, that was Stephanie Berger, the freshman for the Buckeyes. So Rachel DeCavich, with a high degree of difficulty, would be next for Kent State on the floor. Kent State posting their second highest team score on beam this afternoon, 49.2. Of course, the highest beam score, 49.225 on Friday night. 9.925 is the score for Stephanie Berger of the Buckeyes. Here's the junior DeCavich for Kent State now.
She's going to build off some of the enthusiasm that her teammates have set for her on this event. Her very first tumbling pass is the one that's the most difficult.
Sydney Jennings, the senior out of
Round off back handspring Arabian. Double front.
Sydney Jennings, the senior out of Rochester, on the beam for the Buckeyes. Grace Rury with a 9.825 on that performance for the Golden Flashes.
Rachel gets her teammates and the crowd involved in that hand jive and then gets ready for her last tumbling pass coming up next. Punch front, round off back handspring, double back tuck, triple salto pass and a stuck landing. That's going to get the crowd on their feet to cheer for her.
Your all-arounder for the Golden Flashes, Rachel DeCavich, and well, it takes a lot out of a gymnast. You're competing in all events, and your floor event being the last one. Well-conditioned athletes. Eastern Michigan with a team score on the vault of 48.65.
You talked about well-conditioned athletes. We had a chance before the meet to go down and see Coach Bob Lemieux. He's been the strength and conditioning coach here for the program for a lot of the sports for about 20 years now, and he was sharing with us some of their routines and their habits and some of the state-of-the-art equipment that they've put into place to really do a great job of channeling in their strength and getting them to stay in tip-top shape. So they have a lot more electronic devices available now where they can actually count the reps, they can see their angles, they can see their performance in the weight room and their technique as they're getting stronger. So it was really fun to see the behind-the-scenes tour that Bob was able to give this afternoon.
Sydney Jennings with a 9.85 for the Buckeyes over on the beam. JoJo Warga up on the beam now. For Kent State, it's the freshman Alyssa Guns, who impressed us several weeks ago with a 9.95. Can she repeat?
What I love about Alyssa's routine is her execution. She really has perfected her skills and her landings and doesn't give the judges much space to deduct. That's a 1.5 twist called a Rudy for her first tumbling pass. Ohio State erupting at the end of that beam routine. They had a great lineup of athletes today on that event.
Yeah, that was JoJo Warga just finishing up for the Buckeyes. Warga, the sophomore out of Girard, Ohio.
Alyssa's round up back handspring, double back pike.
Almost over rotated there, was able to catch it.
Lots of power.
Alyssa Guns, the freshman for Kent State. Up next is Carly Franz for the Golden Flashes on floor. And a 9.925 for JoJo Warga. Boy, Ohio State looking so good today.
Very sharp, yes.
As they have one more home meet next Friday, and then the Big Ten Championships.
There's so much great talent in the gymnastics arena today, and a lot of these athletes, both at Ohio State and Kent State and Eastern Michigan, they all came from club teams here in Ohio. So I think that's why we're getting to see great fan turnout and enthusiasm today, because these are their hometown heroes.
As we wait, Carly Franz. And the score for Alyssa Guns. 9-8.
Here comes Carly Franz.
Buckeyes are celebrating beneath us as they eclipsed 197 for the first time, actually I believe the second time this season. 195.525 is their team score.
Carly opened with a 1.5 to a punch back layout. Very difficult opening tumbling pass. Yeah, so Ohio State's celebrating that 197.525 team score today. Amazing performance from the Big Ten school.
Yeah, that is their highest score of the season, eclipsing the 197.075.
By a lot, almost a half a point.
Well, that occurring a couple of weeks ago against Michigan State University.
Carly's last pass, round back handspring, double back tuck. Huge amplitude. And that'll finish up the Golden Flashes lineup on the floor exercise.
Now we'll see if Coach Bryce Biggin has Maddie Trott. Of course he will. Maddie, the senior, in an exhibition for Kent State on the floor. Maddie really has primarily competed in uneven bars for Kent State during her entire career. She, of course, has also participated in the floor. Her personal record on floor came against Bowling Green in 2019. She posted a score of 9.825. And that particular meet, that was a special one for Madison Trotter. She also posted a career-high mark of 9.85 on bars, tied for first place in the meet. Madison would go on to tie that personal record 2 years later. And it couldn't have come at a better time as it happened during Kent State's trip to the Morgantown Regional. She is a two-time academic All-MAC honoree. Madison is a native of New Wilmington, Pennsylvania, and she will graduate with a degree in Human Development and Family Studies.
So we see the score come up at 9.9.
Maddie going to enjoy every moment of this.
Round off 2.5 twist, punch front tuck. Maddie's a twister and she can really spin fast in the air. Front handspring, 1.5 twist, right into a double stag jump. And that'll do it for the Golden Flashes today.
Well, that wraps up the competition here at the Mack Center as the Buckeyes are victorious over Kent State and Eastern Michigan. The Buckeyes with a team score of 197.525, their highest of the season. Kent State with a team score of 196.5 and Eastern Michigan 194.575. Let's go through the individual awards here this afternoon. Top three performers in the vault. In third place with a score